When the pandemic hit, it was overwhelming in terms of how people understood right away that their neighbors really were struggling and that we all needed to band together.
The coronavirus pandemic has impacted every aspect of our lives, from work to school to home. It's also showed us how resilient we really are and the goodness of our neighbors. As businesses closed, millions lost their jobs, and for many, the question of how they would feed their family became a real fear. Tony's Kitchen of St. Luke's Church became a lifeline in their community.
Day in and day out, I see people coming who are hungry. And it's new people, and it's more people.
The soup kitchen also fell on hard times during the pandemic.
When the pandemic hit, really all of our distribution mechanisms shut down overnight.
Because of COVID restrictions, supply concerns, and increased demand, Tony's asked for help from the community, who answered the call.
We were outside. We would set up tables to receive in food donations, to sort food. People came and did pickups for us at markets, which was tremendous.
Their donations so massive, their dining room turned into a warehouse. Tony's even started delivering meals to those who were homebound.
Prior to the pandemic, we were providing 240,000 meals a year into our community. Last year, 2020, we provided 1 million meals. And then this year, we're on track for 1.5 million meals.
But as the pandemic rages on, the fight against food insecurity continues. And that's where Tony's Kitchen comes in.
In this year and a half where so many things have been shut down to us, so many things have been closed off, this has been something that's been open and thriving and is alive and will continue to be for as long as it's needed.
For those following along, it's been a month of booster battle whiplash, public divisions between the Biden administration, an FDA panel, a CDC panel. But this morning, the director of the CDC making the final call in this next wave of Pfizer booster shots, and millions of eligible Americans can go out and get them starting today.
After weeks of head-spinning debate, the CDC director giving the green light for booster shots, but going against her own panel of advisors on a key element of who qualifies.
This motion passed 15-0.
Dr. Walensky now endorsing the panel's recommendation for a third Pfizer shot 6 months after a second dose for those 65 and older, residents of long-term care facilities, and people 18 and older at high risk with underlying medical conditions. But here's the disagreement. The panel initially voted against authorizing boosters for frontline workers like teachers, daycare staff, grocery, and healthcare workers. But Dr. Walensky overruling the advisors, saying in a statement they will allow the booster for adults at high risk of disease from occupational and institutional exposures to COVID-19. The boosters will be available as soon as today at over 30,000 locations across the country, including urgent care clinics, some federally qualified health centers, and pharmacies.